Hey everyone, it's me, Anime Gaming Nerd here, bringing you the 12 Days of Anime Day 4. The reason why I'm sounding like this right now is the fact that I'm like, I really ran out of fucking ideas. Well, I'm not gonna talk about it's good, but it's not bad either. It's interesting. I couldn't even bring myself to, I guess, more so read it a second time after I read it. Because this first time I'm like, no, I am not. I can't go through that. If any of you guys have read this manga, at least this first chapter, you all can sympathize with me and be like, yeah, we understand why you don't want to go through that again. It's like, it's not that I can handle things like, you know what, I'll get into it. Now, while I explain what Harem is about, now, typically, this is I guess you could say a unique spin on the harem genre, which typically involves chicks with big breasts, like around like 4 or 5, wanting to more so fuck the main protagonist, who's a male and is a lot, and in some cases pretty perverted. Granted, there's some harems I like say, I think High School DxD is a decent series, but there's some harems I genuinely absolutely despise, like in terms of its anime, Rosario plus Vampire. Now, granted, I've read a little bit of the Rosario plus Vampire manga, and it is a lot better. I've only read like 20 chapters of the first season. And as I look into some things with the second one, it does look like it gets like a billion times better. So, yeah, there's that. It's really come down to this in day 4. I really am talking about this. Basically, you know what, I just can't describe this myself. I actually forgot some of the aspects of this manga, yeah. Like how it begins, so I just, like, the last, I think is at least halfway through is what I keep intact. So I'm going to Manga Fox, which has the version I prefer reading of this. It's more so like about this guy named Itoi Sati. I'm not even going to care if I butcher his name. And it's more so the fact that we see his college life. He's at a party and one of his classmates gets sick and starts throwing up. And he takes her home. Then he bumps into his childhood friend, and then we see there's a stalker girl there. Then things get a bit weird when there's this girl that appears at his doorstep that, as it turns out, is his half-sister. So yeah, there's now a sister type, and more so his drunk classmate happens to be a tsundere. So you're like, this doesn't sound original at all, Adrian. Why are you saying this? This sounds like a generic harem. With childhood friends, sisters, and tsunderes. Trust me, things get interesting. Like, as you go through, you see the fact that they're more so, I guess, like all the girls that he meets, including the stalker, are more so just decide to stay at his place and do their own thing. And as it turns out, the stalker is another childhood friend that they had promised that they would get married 15 years ago. And they're more so doing their own things, and a lot of them start moving in, and they are all fine over him. Then I just can't describe what happens next. I don't want to fucking look up this page 20 of the first chapter, uncensored. I really fucking don't want to, but I'm going to do my best to describe, like, from my memories, cause trust me, I'll explain like why I'm actually reading, but yes, not the, I guess you could say, correct way on Manga Fox. I'll explain that in a bit. Basically, as it turns out, these girls chopped him into pieces, and what they so happen to do is that they began eating him. these girls are fucking cannibals, and it's so fucking disgusting. And this shit, and it's looking like I'm sitting here, I'm like, when I first read it like a few months ago, I'm like, I actually clicked like back on the page just to make sure I'm reading like the same fucking manga. That was how fucking disgusting it was, and I just couldn't take it. In fact, you know what? Alright, since you guys are very fucking curious on like how gross can it be, how fucked up it is, I will show it to you right now. I hope you all enjoyed that picture of a cat, my apology, and that like 15 seconds of Evangelion music. So, yeah. Let's continue on with this. The reason why I think Harem is like a unique harem manga is that essentially none of the girls want to fuck the main character. They want to eat him. Now, I would say, and here's like my more so main problem with, though I guess this could lead into my main problem with Harem that I'm about to mention. There's a second chapter of it, but the problem is looking like the series is going to be an anthology tour, like every chapter is a standalone, like episodic shit. I thought this was going to be, I think this is actually, from the first chapter, actually, honestly, despite the fact that I don't want to ever read the first chapter ever fucking again, is actually an interesting concept that I want to see what they could, like the writer of it, what he or she or who or like whatever it was that wrote this fucking like manga, see what they could do with it. I won't lie, like the manga isn't bad by any means. It's just, I guess you could say, unreadable because of how gross it is. And I can handle like going like cartoons, anime, or video games, and maybe even CG movies. I can't handle real life gore or gore in live action movies, and I think this proves the fact that, and I guess now there's like a line on what I could handle with manga gore, because this manga fucking created that, and this is coming from a guy that's read like the entire Catastrophe arc, which is the final arc of Gantz, which is 80 chapters long in one sitting. Yeah, I did that, but it ain't the most violent, most fucked up manga I ever read. Here's the most fucked up one. Here's just like the cover of the most fucked up one.